welcome to the show. It's good to see all of you. And also Axel, of course, here. How are things going?
Yeah, well, I mean, currencies are very, very interesting today. So we'll talk about those, I guess. How are you?
I'm very good. Watching the markets climb a wall of worry. S&P, yet again, another fresh record close. It's starting to give me the heebie-jeebies, if I'm completely honest.
Yeah, but so far the trends are intact, and don't fight the trend is all I can always say.
Yeah, keep tightening those stops. So let's have a quick look across very quickly before we get to our thinking caps and what is under Axel's thinking cap and mine as well. It's looking like a moderate risk on overall, generally just down a touch, but really not by much. Their FTSE near the neutral territory, but starting to creep higher. Let's have a look at the individual movers.
Let's do that indeed. If I could see them, then that would help.
Oh,
but
that
I
would
can't.
help, producer Phil. Here we go. I'll
you go
read
for it.
them out. Yeah, there we are. Fresnillo, Antofagasta. No surprise there.
They're your usual suspects here, basically mining stocks surging ahead as the gold price is hitting yet another record high on these comments by President Trump, saying that the US dollar, he's not really worried about it. And US dollar is basically trading, if you look at the dollar index, in 4-year lows nearly, against the euro near 3-year lows. And basically that weakness has helped the gold price and other precious metals to hit new highs or be very close to those. So I think gold now really approaching the $5,300 mark. I mean, it's just surging ahead.
Yeah, and also taking a look at the other name there, Fresnillo as well. Don't forget, you heard John Mayer talk with me the other day, and he mentioned that if you think you've missed the party, don't worry, because you can always look at the miners. And so he mentioned Fresnillo and Hochtief as well, if you are wanting to still get into silver, but not with price action because you think it might be too high already, too frothy. Some of the oil majors, Shell also on the winners list, and some of the consumer names as well. I have to say, I did not expect to see some of these consumer names on the winners list.
Yeah, but if you look at them, I mean, they're hardly up, aren't they? I mean, less than 1%. So it's not really a big deal. What is more interesting is the ones at the top here, 2% up, and the miners, etc.
And BE Systems there too. Let's have a look at the losers.
So, GSK, so, I mean, we're talking defensive stocks here. It's a mixed bunch, isn't it? IHG as well, as they like to be known, which is, of course, Intercontinental Hotels, also down slightly there. No surprise given the slight geopolitical jitters at the moment. Not as much as I would expect. The other drug stock that is also lower, AstraZeneca too. And RELX, defensive, also down slightly. Not by much, though. So big moment today. Currencies, what's taking your fancy? Well, everything. I mean, if you look at any currency pair you want to look at, I mean, let's start off with the euro dollar, for example. I mean, it's unbelievable. It just went right through 120 all the way up to 120.80 or so. If I zoom out on my chart, you can see that that level was last traded in June of 2021. And we seem to be heading towards these highs that we saw back in 2021, which are around 123.50. Clearly very, very bullish. Trump's comments didn't really help the US dollar, which is just weakening against all kinds of currency pairs. And if you look at euro dollar, yes, short term, we seem to be struggling around the 120 mark. So maybe this was the last spike higher, who knows, from an intraday perspective. But basically, as long as we stay above the low we saw yesterday, which is a long way away from here, to be fair, it's about 118.50. It's still very, very bullish, and we could head, as I say, towards 123.50. If you look at the British pound, for example, similar story. British pound against the US dollar. Here we went up to 138.70.
And again, if you look at the monthly chart, this is a level we last saw in September of 2021. The same story everywhere. And also with the yen, what is interesting, we had some concerted intervention. So this is a weekly chart on the yen. You can see here it dropped by about 3% against the US dollar. And if I go into the daily chart, you can see that we are clearly coming off this resistance area we talked about for the last few weeks, didn't we, about 160, where we would expect the Bank of Japan to intervene. But apparently what it has done, now it hasn't been confirmed as I can see, but apparently there was concerted intervention with the Fed, and both of them basically pushing the Japanese yen higher. And now we're trading back at 152, which is a level we saw back in October.
I mean, there's some houses projecting around 165, 160, 165 end of 2026. Some outliers are higher if there's no aggressive tightening. Do you agree or disagree with that view?
Not necessarily, because look at 160 here. Every time we went up there, clearly the Bank of Japan, that's the line in the sand for them.
And it hits.
We come off. We did that in 2024. And if you zoom out even further, we did that back in 1998. And yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they really were to try to make it go down again. So for me, those targets, at the moment at least, seem a bit ambitious, and I wouldn't be surprised if we were to stay below 160.
Yep. The other major risk, of course, is we continue in our earnings season. Some of the big ones that we're still waiting out for, Tesla, Microsoft, Meta as well, all potential big movers there, given the anticipation of what they're going to say about AI and if it's starting to pay off yet. Meta is being viewed bullishly by some analysts at the moment for AI positioning. And also, what is also interesting is this is all happening amidst a tariff change around, chaotic tariff moves between China and the US and Canada as well. Quick look at what else is happening overnight. Were you up late watching United Health? That was quite exciting.
Definitely not.
Axel, I say this with great admiration, has got very strict distinction between time to look at in charts and not. I sometimes can't help myself. And so I get very excited when my filters go ping. And United Health, this is a daily chart there.
Yeah, not surprising. Didn't do very well, did it?
No. And it was their outlook. And I have some numbers that I did have written, wrote here just earlier this morning. Actually 3 a.m. because I couldn't sleep, and now I can't find it, but I will get that to you. But take a look there at that huge chart, because it had that big move after, I think it was at the point when I looked at it, it was like down 20% before it eased back slightly, but it was one of the biggest drops in history. I found my note now, and wiped off tens of billions in market cap. And this is because, as I said, it's to do with its outlook, revenues. It had guided for more than 439 billion, implying some 2% decline year over year from 2025.
Now, what's interesting with this chart is, and that is my, I wouldn't say worry, but slight concern, we're seeing all-time highs in the S&P, as just mentioned. And that's on the back of not just, the fact that a lot of people expect Meta, expect Microsoft, expect Tesla to beat their earnings. A lot of the investment banks think so as well. So everybody's very bullishly positioned, and we're trading at all-time highs. If one of these big players, or even two, were to have disappointing guidance, we could see quite a reversal very quickly. Especially when markets are trading all-time highs, everybody's really, really bullish, etc. So that's just one to watch out for. And also the fact that this whole currency debacle with regards to the US dollar hasn't really affected equity markets. They didn't care. That's telling me the market's really bullish. The fact that the 25% tariff on South Korea by Donald Trump basically didn't lead to, it led to the market in the Kospi coming off intraday, but then it closed higher. So again, they're thinking it's just another taco trade. So everybody's bullishly positioned. And when that happens, you have to be just slightly careful. I mean, right now, as far as I know, I haven't looked recently, but you can look at the CNN greed and fear index. And if you see extreme greed, then you're really starting to get a bit worried about it all. But as I've said, so far the trend is your friend. Gold, silver, who would have thought that would just go right through the $100 mark, right through the 5,000 mark. All these round numbers usually would stall there. Hasn't happened. So who knows? Maybe we're going to $5,500 or maybe we're going to $120, $30 on silver.
And we did have a slight pullback yesterday, but still not as much as I thought. And I did have a stop to take an eighth off the table, but I am still in that silver game. Just touching on and showing you the volatility, touching on what Axel was talking about just now. It amazes me each time, Axel, that we, other than that April spike, we've not come anywhere near it, have we? Given Greenland, given Iran, given so many of the events that you would think would normally rock the markets.
Yes, that's just telling you that the market is, or market players at least, are very, very bullish. And they clearly expect a fourth consecutive double-digit gain year to be seen in US equity markets, which is very rare, to be fair. So especially in a midterm election year. But perhaps what Donald Trump is doing at the moment is just doing everything in his power so that American voters are not looking at his ratings, are just not distracted by everything that's going on.
Not looking at their bills, which still remain high, not looking at the fact that we have ICE going on. Yes, I think that that is a reasonable thesis. The other thing that we shouldn't forget as well is that, perhaps end of this weekend or the following weekend, there is still this risk out there that something might kick off in Iran. What was Ange doing up late last night, not being able to sleep? I was taking a look not just at my silver positioning, and I have started as of yesterday moving some of that risk and redeploying into gold miners, but also I have been keeping an eye on the chatter with regards to Iran. Some of the news, please let me know if you've heard anything else on this, is that MBS had an emergency call with the Iranian president. So one to keep an eye on. Saudi, of course, will benefit from a weakened Iran. It's still something that we need to sort of have on our radar. Lots of people coming on the chat asking about our expectations for what's happening in terms of where we stand at the end of the week. Of course, we spoke about FOMC already. We spoke about earnings, MAG 7 or LAG 7, as it were. And also direction by the end of the week. Do you think we're still going to climb the wall of worry, Axe?
I have no idea. And it doesn't really matter what we think. What matters is what the market is doing. So basically trade the market, don't trade what you think it will do. And right now we have very firm, strong trends, even if I personally think they are becoming a bit frothy, the trend is still your friend. So, just ratchet your take profit stops higher. If we see increased volatility this week because of earnings and then some sort of big reversal pattern, then perhaps we are seeing some sort of top. But unless we see that, it's still going higher. So, don't fight the trend is all I can say. And I don't know what's going to happen next. All I'm saying is we have a lot of big tech earnings out this week. Perhaps not all of them could have the results we expect them to have, especially because that's already priced in. So you could see even, earnings being beaten by some companies, but the stock share price basically still coming off. So.
Yeah. As Ed Sakota once said, it can be expensive to try to convince the markets you are right. And I would like to add as well, after the wise words from Axel, there are things, trader friends, that you can do as well if you wanted to take this cautionary view and follow the trend, because trend is your friend. You can always have trading stops. I'm actually looking at paying for guaranteed stops now. You can do that on the IG platform. You can also hedge. Take a look at the interview that I did with Joachim Clement. It's about to come out
and drop in about 24 hours. You already have John Mayer's, which dropped last night on gold, silver, and all miners. But the Joachim interview, I did ask him for some hedging ideas in terms of longer term investments, and he came up with actually a German one, which is I'm going to mess up the name now, DiGero, which benefits when there is a lot of uncertainty and currency fluctuations.
Interesting.
Right, and on that note, what's the rest of your day looking like?
Busy as usual. I mean, there's lots going on. And yes, I mean, I'll look at these currencies a bit more. We had our trade of the week because, you know, I went long the euro versus the Swiss franc and thinking that we would find some sort of support here at these decade-old lows. And we got within 2 ticks so far of the stop. So I'm sweating that one a bit. But yeah, it's unbelievable, these markets at the moment. So very interesting indeed.
For those of you wanting to find all our content, including the trade of the week as well, just redirecting you to our brand new home, which is the YouTube /IGUK_official. I'm just going to put this up for those of you that are watching this live as a reminder, and you'll see all the good stuff that is done by us here, including the morning markets as well, if you want to play it on catch-up. Like Netflix, but we also have, here we are, to the left-hand side, Axel's trade of the week. Right, whatever you're doing, I hope you are having fun, and also may you stack the odds in your favor.